Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm just introducing you to what you will likely see most of the time. Most of the time, I will be explaining the stories on a piece of paper. This is to help mitigate any identification of people or the location of where we're at for the privacy of the families, obviously. So what I do is I was thinking, and tell me if you have better ideas, I'm happy to listen. But all my stories are going to be centered around a decedent. This person is the primary character in every story because this person is what it's all about. The story of their family after they have passed away. I will always use fake names, probably starting with the same letter as what identifies as their role. So if this is the decedent and it is a man, I will probably call this man Dan. If it's a woman, it'll be a name that starts with a D as well. If Dan has parents that are involved, I will probably indicate that with a line going upwards in some way with another man and a woman to represent Dan's mother, which we'll probably call Martha, and a father, which we could call Frank, and so on. Brothers and sisters will be out to the side in groups, of course, because some brothers and sisters can come in multiplicities. If it's a sister, it can be Susan, and a brother named Bob. Children, obviously, will go downward, right? And if it's a daughter, we'll call her Dorothy. And if it's a son, we'll call him Sam. Then obviously there will always be a spouse if there is a marriage, of course. And what I will probably do is use different colors. So if Dan is married and has a wife, right, we're going to use pink or red. And there will be hair, because if it's a wife or if it's a life partner, we'll write the same sex, we'll put blue. Blue for a husband named Harry, and pink for a wife named Wanda. I don't know. Or Wendy. We never know. Every story is different, and every story has its own drama. And that's the point of this channel, is to kind of tell you the stories of what I've seen, the interaction of mainly the families and the characters and friends that surround the incidents of what happens after somebody dies. Other things that I will point out to you will likely be things and processes that I have learned that people don't understand. Oh, don't you love how that ink just bled through? Whenever somebody dies, there is always a process. Everybody's life is lived in a certain amount of timeline. They're from the day that you were born to the day that you die. And this is where my stories begin. People don't realize it, but there is actually a lot to be done after you die. There is a process, and it usually ends in burial or cremation. If there are other things that it ends with, I don't usually handle that, and I won't have stories about that. But most of the things that involve all these people here happens in this time right here. And then in the very end is usually when the process is complete. The process that we are looking at from the death to the completion of burial or cremation will usually be approximately 2 weeks. But I'll talk more about that. And I look forward to sharing these stories with you all. Please leave me a comment. Ask questions. I also have my email address in the description of my About page. I will always use fake names. I will never give out my name. And I will never use the real locations or other details because obviously we don't want to be hurting these families. But it's always good for you all to understand what you can and cannot avoid when things happen after somebody you love dies. That's what this channel is about. Their stories, the process, sharing my experience, and hopefully helping you in the future. Well, until then, live your life to the fullest, everyone. Take care.